Greetings, fellow captains, and welcome back to another episode of World of Warships with the Hivehound. And today we have a replay that was submitted to us by the Monk 52. The Monk 52 has got himself his own YouTube channel, which is growing really well. So the link to his description will be below. And well, whilst we're waiting for the action to start, apologies for the lack of sound. Monk sent it to me muted because he was in party and the party chat was shared, and he didn't want that to be aired, which is completely fair enough. So yeah, as I was saying, whilst we're waiting to get into the action here, I've got a bit of an idea I want to throw at you guys, and basically see what you think. Now there are a lot of really good channels. Obviously, we've grown really well. We've been quite lucky. Spartan give us numerous shout outs in our early YouTube career, and yes, we've still got a long way to go, but it's not all about us. It's about the community in general, which is why I started the whole channel in the first place. So I was thinking of, if you guys were interested, possibly on the weekends doing a video, whereas not like this, where Monk, who has a channel, has submitted a replay and I'm talking over it, but actually showcase what these other YouTubers are capable of and what exactly they're doing and what their content's like. So obviously I've got monetization. I'm not here. I don't want to profit off these guys. Not that a typical video makes much. Probably lucky if I get $1. Which means there are children working in Japanese sweatshops that make more money per hour than me. But anyway, they'll be unmonetized and they will purely just be there just to introduce you guys to some other YouTubers who I think are doing a good job and who I think their content is of interest. So yeah, let me know in the comments below what you think about that. So basically hosting gameplays and commentaries by other YouTubers to sort of basically alert everyone to the other content that's out there, particularly with the smaller ones, because it's really difficult to get yourself noticed. Even I find it a bit difficult at the moment still, but for someone with only 100 subscribers or 300 subscribers, YouTube's algorithm is not going to be pointing them out. So yeah, so as we can see, as this battle is progressing, that poor enemy vanguard has been taking an absolute beating. So, and quite rightly, the Monk's buddy and the destroyer pushed forward, spotted everything, kept them lit up, and Monk is being surprisingly aggressive here. I think the enemy team are more primarily focused on the battleship that's pushed right forward, but Monk has also pushed forward. He's kept within a reasonable range of his battleship, not to leave himself high and dry, not to leave himself out of the fight. And this is when Monk notices a rogue Baltimore that has sailed straight up the middle and is already capturing his base. So, a reasonable start, 18,000 damage, because we've got a fire going. So he is clocking up some consistent damage and has only now taken his first damage back in return. And there's also an enemy Fletcher. So Monk's taken note of the Fletcher, realised that obviously our destroyer is significantly more of a threat. His Z-23, I'm assuming because of where the smoke screen is currently using his hydro to keep that Fletcher detected. And as you can see, Monk's looking for the torpedo shot, because it's always worth, if you've got torpedoes, it's always worth firing them. Do you know what I mean? Like 100% of the torpedoes and shots you don't fire miss. That is critical. Obviously, you don't want to be wasting them, but there is definitely an element of effectively using them. And as you can see, he knows the Baltimore sitting there in the smoke screen. You can see the Z-23's torpedoes dipping in there, and there's no other available targets. There is a Hipper off in the distance, so Monk correctly fires at him, not to waste any shots, and he's desperately looking to find that Baltimore that's hiding in the destroyer's smoke there. As you can see, his torpedoes on the Atago, not the fastest torpedoes in the world, but they do have particularly long range, and they are slowly but surely closing in. So what's going to get him first? Is it going to be the guns or the torpedoes? Right, so the Baltimore is clearly backing up, and catch him with 4 penetrations, or 2 penetrations, 4 bounces, and a couple of ricochets there. That was a slightly unlucky salvo, but the Baltimore is there. He's now spotted, but the Baltimore has become a victim to his friendly destroyer's smokescreen, because he cannot, in fact, see the Monk until now. Now he has just been detected, and the Monk has already fired quite a few salvos and racked up a reasonable amount of damage on that enemy Baltimore, and a bunch of defend ribbons, because whilst he was hitting him, he was still in the cap. Now, why hasn't the Baltimore returned fire yet? Is the Baltimore more focused on the friendly destroyer? Nope, there we go. The Baltimore has finally woken up. But obviously there was a battleship there, but the Baltimore has decided, no, he's going to try focus on the Atago now. I think it's because he knows he's in a sticky situation. There's a destroyer, a battleship, and a cruiser all bearing down on him. And what's he most likely to kill? The destroyer or the cruiser? I would have said the cruiser at the time, because obviously the Monk was given a bit of broadside. Not a perfect broadside, but just enough to warrant firing that armor piercing at him. And there we go. The Baltimore is gone. He is down and he is out. And the Monk has racked up a pretty respectable 67,000 damage so far, but the flank that he was protecting looks like it's in a bit of danger here. Obviously, we're winning ship-wise. It's 5 kills to Monk's team to the 3 kills of the enemy team, but his flank that he was originally supporting is now, in fact, pretty much unsupported. There is 1 ship there, and we've seen a couple of battleships over there earlier on. Monk tries to take a shot at the Mogami, and unfortunately ends up punishing the Rock instead. But it was worth it. There was a bit of a gap, and, well, like I said, it would have been great if it got through and it hit. Obviously, because of where your turrets are placed, not always when the mountain symbol shows does that mean your shots aren't going to get through. So that is something taken into account. They did show as clear just before, but I'm assuming if it was the back turrets, he might have got away with it. But unfortunately, it was the fronts. So as you can see, Monk is going back to defend the right-hand flank. It's weird. I always find this hard to describe which flank, because if you're looking at the map, it's the left side. If you're looking from Monk's perspective, it's the right. But paying attention to the mini-map, we're going to say it's the left side. So he's pushing down the left flank, but as you can see, all the enemy ships have now actually retreated back to their base, and they have decided not to push up. So we're going to have a little bit of slow time here, where we're going to enjoy a pleasure cruise and slowly sail around. So maybe we'll enjoy this with a bit of seafaring music. Right, that's quite enough of that, and here we go. The Monk has now made his way around the island far enough that he can start to punish the enemies And as you can see, his first target, his initial target, is the enemy tier 7 Iowa, who has given his teammate, not his division mate, his teammate, a bit of a punishing in the other cruiser. And as you see, the Mogami is low health, so let's get rid of him as quickly as possible, because let's not forget, all right, it's not kill stealing, it's killing as a team, and monks use that. And it doesn't matter how much hit points a ship has got. It can have all its hit points, it could have one, it can still do as much damage to you, regardless. And Monk was quite lucky there. He dodged the return shot from the Iowa after his friendly cruiser had died, and now it is a 3v4 situation with the friendly destroyer going back to the cap. Why he's back in the cap, I'm not 100% sure. Maybe Monk can let us in. Maybe I didn't notice that there was another threat up there. But there's 3 battleships left now, and we know exactly where they are. And as you can see by the minimap, the destroyer does look like he's turned. Has he turned? It's quite hard to see because it is quite small. Yes, as you can see, it looks like he's going to head back and go straight down the channel and help finish these off, as Monk starts with more fires again, because the Japanese cruisers are very good at setting fires, probably even more so than the Russians. But obviously with the Russians, with their distance and their smoke screens, they've become the primary fear from fire of late. But never underestimate the Japanese cruisers. And now we're starting to get into great gameplay territory. 118. We'll wait a couple of seconds to confirm it. Oh, not quite. There we go. 120,000 damage to accompany his 2 kills so far. But now it's rock and hard place time, isn't it? Because there's 2 battleships. He's cautiously and correctly decided to wait behind cover until his teammates get in to give him support, because what's there still? If I remember rightly, it's a Jean Bart and an Iowa. If you get spotted in a cruiser by a Jean Bart and an Iowa, yeah, it's not going to end very well for you, as he finishes off the Jean Bart and picks up kill number 3. And now back to focusing the Iowa, the last ship left alive. And as you can see, the damage just keeps on respectively ticking up and up and up, and just shy of 130,000. I'm pretty sure this salvo is going to tip us over that. There we go, 130,000, and yet another fire. Now, I know from playing this game, I get quite annoyed by high explosive spam as well. I do. Everyone does. Nobody likes getting set on fire, but you've got to understand that it's part of the mechanics. It's part of the game. A cruiser is not going to turn around and one-shot an Iowa. An Iowa can very easily turn around and one-shot a cruiser. So that is something to consider. And, it balances the power, as frustrating as it is. And there we go. Battle is won. And congratulations on reaching a new milestone there, Monk. 142,000 damage and over 4,000 base experience with the 13 fires and the high caliber as well. So very well played there, Monk. And, well, until next time, take care.